What's up? How are we doing? So, the Devastators concluded it 2 days ago, I think, and yeah, Hybrid Blackwing won. I was really happy with that result, even though the top cut has made me a bit anxious about the format. For example, we saw Gladiator Beasts doing well, and I mean, Glad Beasts are a stupid deck. Also, two Light Sworns to the top four, by the way. I mean, I saw one duel, the guy opened Dust Shoot 2 games, and he had Consecrate Light into JD. Uh, it happens. I mean, still, Blackwings managed to get the first place. The Hybrid Blackwing also the top four, and Vayu in the top eight. So I think at the moment we are staring at a best deck situation, maybe for the first time in Edison, because I really feel like this deck is just insane. This isn't, by the way, the build that the first place played. This is my take on the deck. I've been taking it out for a couple games, trying out some stuff, trying to see how good it is and how bad it is. And I have some replays. So I cut the upstarts, as you can see, and I changed them with the one Blizzard and the Starlight Road. I do not play Gores, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But yeah, we max on every name that we can because we wanted to open them in conjunction with Whirlwind, and that's pretty insane. Then we have the one Dark Arm Dragon. I realized that Blizzard helps you make Dad live or alter the Darks Engrave for Dad really well. And while it can be a bit breaky sometimes, I can still argue playing two Blizzards. Uh, I think that this card is good and you can play it at 3. You can cut this though for another defensive card if you want to, or for Brain Control. I don't play Brain Control because I think that you need to have like a tuner, or you're either gonna go for game with Brain Control, or you're gonna need a way to get rid of the card you're using. I mean, if you take a Brionac, you can just put the Brionac back, but still. So yeah, we max on the names, we max on the Greffer. Greffer is better than Armor Knight. Please don't play Armageddon Knight in this. Greffer is way better. Higher attack, doesn't lose to Glads. And Greffer, the Greffer line also beats Raiko. I really like how this version of the deck doesn't lose to Raiko, because you can attack it with Vios, you can attack it with Greffers that have sent the cards for the graveyard for the follow-up play. Yeah, that's the main deck. So the reason why I don't play cores is I wanna play I play Road because it's like a meta adjustment for the aggressive strategies like Light Swords, like Glad Beasts. Road is really good against both of them, against their engines. It's also good against the heavy, and I play a lot of back row, so I like having a card like Road in theory to beat the heavy. So, and yeah, and because I play Road, which is a card that you don't flip that often, I also played Double Oppression, and we have the two Whirlwind. We have already 5 cards that are anti-Gores cards. And yeah, I mean, you show in the builds they play like one Oppression to play the Gores. I don't like that. I think Oppression is the most stupid card in the format, and your opponent has to have a response for this, otherwise they can't play the game most of the time. I mean, and against a matchup that's not good, you shed it out. Also, I feel like this deck in particular doesn't really lose to Gores. You have many ways of beating Gores, like Gale, like Armor Master. So many good ways of beating this card. And it just makes me think, if Gores can be countered by the best deck in such a good way, then why would I play it? I mean, it's really good against slower decks that can't really get rid of the body and the token. But yeah, I mean, I also explained why I don't play Mind Control. I play these 5 spells, all of them are insane. The traps, these are the 4 best traps, I think. The 2 bottomlesses, the 2 deep prisons. I side deck the third, obviously, for some matchups. Then we have the 3 Icarus. This is the best card in the deck, no doubt. This card determines which matchups are good for you and bad for you. Like Frog Monarch doesn't care about Icarus, and as a result, you can play with this. And then we have the Double Oppression, stupid card, really stupid card as well. And the 3 one-offs, the 1 Judgment and the 1 Road. These are cards that are a bit heavy. I don't think you need more than this. And the 1 Mirror Force. Mirror Force deals with recruiters, deals with big beaters, and I really think it's good. Even if you use this as Sakuretsu armor, I think it has value. Because like they can attack with, if for example they attack with cards like Water Ladies or they want to crush recruiters, okay, just get rid of these cards. And I think these are the types of cards that this deck may struggle against. The recruiter type cards. They can be annoying because you can't apply a lot of pressure early on. The extra deck isn't standard. I mean, we have the 14 standard cards, and because I play Road, I play 2 Stardusts. You can make this card, you can make this with your standard Blackwing hands. And I always want to have 2 Stardusts for these situations. I have never found myself summoning Thought Ruler. It's better only against Deep Prison. And I mean, if everybody starts mandating 3 Deep Prisons, you could maybe do it, but still, Stardust beats Mirror Force, beats Bottomless, beats so many cards. The other card that I was thinking is the second Cataster. Even so, I haven't really found myself summoning the second Cataster that often. I don't know if it's necessary to have in the future, in case, you know, like Lightsworn becomes a tier 1 deck, Cataster just shits on Lightsworn. But I've found myself summoning Android really, really often. Like, there have been situations where I take damage of like Judgment, or it gives me life points back. Gives me life points that I can use Oppression then to pay. Really, really good card. This card is really underrated in my opinion. The 5 standard Blackwing monsters, the 1 Black Rose, obviously. I summoned this after like 40 games. When it comes, it comes. The 1 Bryonak, Colossal Fighter. This card is really good in the mirror, in case you know they have Kalut, but it's still worse than Stardust Dragon. I think that Stardust Dragon is by far the best level 8 monster. Your deck in general can lose to some big wipe cards. It can lose to Mirror Forces, it can lose to these cards, and Stardust just helps so much against them. And then the Darkened Dragon. Really, this card is also like decent. The sad thing is that you cannot make this with a Brionac and a Tune and Blizzard. That's really bad. I mean, you can still make it with Sirocco and Gale, and I think it's really good if you can, because it just gets rid of set monsters. It doesn't even destroy them. Really, really good card. I don't summon it that often, but you can still summon it and get a +1. Really good. They want Goyo. This comes in simplified situations. I'm not gonna lie, this is the 6 that I summon less, because I want this this gets summoned with value, gets put in the grave. This is the best Blizzard summon, and this comes in when you know they have no back row and you can like steal a guy. I make and it comes in these lethal situations. So, and then we have the side deck. Side deck is these 4 cards in conjunction with Icarus. They are your cards that out Consecrated Light, Cyber Dragon and Splashing Ground. This is really important because I think that people are gonna start playing more copies of this card. I don't think it's that insane, even though as you're gonna see, it kinda lost me a game. I could play it, but I didn't want to. Then we have the 3DD Crows. I am super sold on 3 Crows, not gonna lie. I mean, you can play 2 and play like a Delta Crow or something, but I just think that DD Crow is really, really good against these aggressive matchups that the deck kinda wants to have defensive cards in the hand to not, in case you get heavied, in case you get the MST dust in the end phase. This card has won me so many games. I really like playing 3. Then we have the 3rd Deep Prison. This comes in against all of the matchups where they have big beaters, they have like against like Glad Beasts. Really good card. It's really good in like the simplified game states. I really like, and you put this in the mirror as well. Good, really good card. Then we have the 2 Dust Tornadoes, 2 extra ways of removing back row, really like it. Then we have the 2 Light Imprisonings and the 2 Pulling the Rugs, really standard. And this is for Fairies, Light Sworn, this is for Monarch Shenanigans. And here is the final card, the 2nd Starlight Road. I am not super sold on this. And if Consecrated Light becomes a way popular card, I can imagine myself playing Fiendish Chain to beat this card. Also, another card that you can play is Skill Drain. No, ironically, you can play this card in Black Wings and it's really good. Because via you summons from the graveyard, you have Kaluts in hand. You can even pop it with Icarus if you want to and play around road. Like you can go Blizzard Revive, Chain Icarus. It's not a bad card in Black Wings. I surely think you can play Skill Drain. I am not at the moment, but if Consecrated Light becomes a thing, I may consider bumping my outs to it. I mean, that's it for the deck profile. Let's hop on into some replays in the next video. Peace.